it's Wilfred Lehman here at Puerto Rico Real Estate, and we're here for part 3 of our seller series. And the first, just a real quick recap. The first part, we went over all the legal documents and what you need to have your property prepared to sell. Then we went over what you need to do to actually prepare your property when it comes to getting it ready for pictures and marketing and things like that. And now we're going to go over the pricing of the property. So depending on the property itself, depending on what the market is, whether it's a buyer's or seller's market, depending on what your current situation is, really affect the pricing and our strategy on selling your property. So for instance, if it's a buyer's depending on if it's a buyer's or seller's market. So just in case you don't know, if it's a buyer's market, that means there is a ton of houses out there for the buyer to pick. So that means there is a lot of supply and very few demand. So when you price your house, you got to be very, very competitive because you're going up a whole bunch of other houses. Now, if it's a seller's market, that's in your favor. That means there's not that much inventory and there's a high demand. So so buyers are competing against each other to get that house. So that helps pricing out a lot as well. But let's talk about your property itself. Now, if you're selling land, now land isn't as popular and there's not that many financing options for land, especially here in Puerto Rico. So your market that you're going after for buyers is going to be a very small market. So you got to be very patient and you got to make sure you price that property correctly. Now, land is different depending on where it's located. It could be in the mountains, it could be right on the beach, two totally different prices. It could be out in the middle of nowhere, it could be zoned agricultural versus commercial versus in a residential lot. That's a very popular residential lot. So that's really going to affect your pricing as well. Now, if you have a house or a condo, depending again where that's at, the more unique the property is, the more difficult it's going to be, and the less buyers you're going to have for that property. So you got to price that property correctly because you got to remember who your buyers are. The other thing is too is, does your house qualify for Fannie Mae and conventional products, FHA, VA, rural development products? Because that's a whole, that's a whole buyer's market that you want to go after. And if your house does not qualify, the property itself does not qualify for financing, then you only have cash only buyers. So again, that affects the pricing as well. The condition of your house, where it's located, you really got to be open-minded to and realistic to what the pricing is going to be. Don't listen to your neighbor. Oh yeah, you should sell it for this. You hired us realtors to give you professional advice. Please listen to us, and we should be able to tell you where to price it at, because our goal is to get you the most money as possible, but also to sell it. So if you have an unrealistic price, no matter who we send it out to, it's going to sit there and it's not going to sell. And if your goal is to sell it, you got to make sure that you are realistic with the expectations and the pricing as well. So every property is very different, and you just got to be very realistic about what you want versus what the market is going to demand. And the other thing is too is any repairs you did to the house, additions and things like that, remember that you do not get dollar for dollar value of the money that you put into the house. So for instance, if you put $10,000 worth of landscaping in the house, that doesn't mean your property went up 10 grand. If you put in a $100,000 addition to the house that in which you overbuilt the house in a neighborhood, you're not going to get $100,000 dollar for dollar on value on that. So be very careful with that as well. So again, I know that every situation is different and very unique in the property. If you have any questions regarding pricing your house, give us a call. Either text us, email us as well if that's more convenient. But please give us a call, because it'll be a little bit easier to kind of go over that. And we definitely need to look at the house as well and go through it. So again, thank you for your time. I hope this helped. I hope this added value. And be prepared to stop by for part 4 of our series. and we're going to go over the marketing process. And again, if you have any questions regarding buying or selling property in Puerto Rico, man, give us a call. We'd love to help you and hear from you. Again, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. See you next time.